we'll have this discussion.
Discussion? What discussion?
This is a discussion.
Combustion.
Coming to you from Denver, Colorado, this is Discussion Combustion Podcast with your hosts, Kevin Batstone and Arthur Raw.
Welcome back, loyal podcast listeners, and thanks for joining us. Discussion Combustion, episode 105, coming to you from DTC. DCPC, conveniently located in DTC.
Excited.
Very excited. Got a great episode lined up tonight. We got Aimee Lewis from FOX31 Denver joining us. We're going to have some fun sitting down, seeing what's going on the journalism side. Get to know what's really going on behind the scenes.
Yes.
Some of the stuff that we might overlook. It's going to be fun. That's what we do here. We dive in. We see what's going on. We're going to enjoy a couple cold ones. But first, if you need some CBD in your life, the clearest, the purest, the most affordable CBD on the market, you're going to visit that site right there at the bottom of the screen. That's mountainmadecbd.com. We've rolled out a promo code to save you a little bit of money, and that's promo code DCPC when you bundle and save on all of your CBD needs.
Hell yes. DCPC, promo code DCPC is going to get you 20% off, so definitely use that. This is the same product that's been out, same high-quality ingredients, and once you find the ones that you love the most, I personally love the Boost in the mid-afternoon. Some of the recovery products for night, I like the one with chamomile. That's delicious.
That's the Recover, Art.
That's the Recover. Once you find those, you could do auto pay, auto ship, auto discount. Promo code doesn't work for that, but that makes it super easy. If you're an athlete and you're working for some pain, alleviation, like you're trying to get through the workouts, you're trying to get through the day, this is definitely a good product to check out.
That's it, man. Mountain Made is constantly innovating. We've worked with them since day one. They're constantly putting new labels on bottles. They got CBD for your dogs. They got CBD for every need to succeed. They're covering it from morning to night. Build, boost, recover, puff, recover, defense, combat, you name it. There's a lot of CBD out there, a lot of choices. But Mountain Made CBD, give them a look, mountainmadecbd.com, promo code DCPC. Save 20% off your entire order. Great way to give it a go.
And that is hashtag go like hell. Discussion Combustion is also brought to you by Wild Outdoor Adventures. Now, when you're ready for less dreaming and more exploring, you're going to visit WOAMEET.com, sign up for free, see all the events they have up and coming, make some friendships, make some memories.
That's it, man. It's a free and easy-to-use website. Great way to see the Colorado outdoors. Maybe you just moved here. You want to meet some people. Create lifelong friendships. WOAMEET.com is definitely your ticket to do so. They got some great backpacking trips coming up, some four-wheeling trips. Maybe you just bought a new Jeep and you want to hit some trails. They got it covered, guys. Hope for teens, hope for veterans, hope for singles, constantly keeping everyone's best interests in mind.
Easy-to-use website, and this is a Colorado company, so if you're interested in the state or just passing through and you want to meet some people with similar interests, this is a great place to start. Again, WOAMEET.com for less dreaming and more exploring.
Let's jump into this thing, man. This is episode 105. This is going to be a fun one. And joining us live on the scene from Discussion Combustion, Aimee Lewis. How are we looking over there?
Wow, that was great. You had your news voices on. That was awesome. It was great to witness.
Absolutely. Yeah, we try to switch it up from all the there's a lot of podcasts in the game, and when you want to differentiate yourself, you got to do things differently. And I feel like we're one of the only podcasts, unless we're doing a Zoom call, we're one of the only ones that does live ad reads.
We've had a couple people comment on that when they come on the show, because everyone's got to sit through that. But,
yeah,
the fact remains, you're used to being on the scene, doing these live, being on the spot, having to improvise.
Yeah.
Coming fresh off the scene before you drove here tonight,
Yeah, went straight from my live shot to here. So this is my first time being on a podcast, though. So this is a first for me, and I'm very excited.
Yeah.
So I'm glad that you contacted me and eager to talk about local news, because we need to talk about local news more.
I think so. Yeah, I think so. Get a little bit more of an in-depth view on it, because I think a lot of people have a sour taste in their mouth for a lot of not only mainstream media but even local media, and it's a difficult position. You're out there trying to cover stories and move around the city, and there's a lot of things happening. And with social media now and everybody being able to be behind a keyboard and have an opinion, it makes it difficult, I think, to get your job across. This is what we're trying to do. We're trying to present you with information, and then everyone's going to have their own opinion, which could really kind of impact that.
Yeah. But at the end of the day, what we do is local news, and that's, what drives us. That's what we do, and it's just a big team of people that are working to give Denver the information that they need. And obviously, you know, we're unbiased and we're just all about the facts. Maybe people have different opinions, but that's at the core of what we do, just local news, and we pump out a lot of it. I work during the day, so I'm on at like 5 or 5:30 every day, and it's something different. I never really know where I'm going to be or who I'm going to be talking to. I could be at a tornado on Monday. I could be talking to the mayor on Tuesday, and then on a Wednesday, I could be in someone's home talking about, you know, a loved one that they lost in a car crash.
Yeah.
It's literally something different every single day. So it keeps me on my toes, but that's what's fun and exciting about it.
That's a great aspect to a job when you can show up to do the same skill. You bring the same skill set to the day, but then you apply it based upon what you're experiencing. Like, you can't show up to the tornado with the same energy that you show up to the resident that lost somebody. So, you know, it's kind of cool because it's almost like you're in the mix, you're freestyling, you're doing it right, and you do have a great presentation because Kevin and I were watching a lot of your stuff prior. You know, we always like to do our research. And good presentation. One of the funniest videos that I don't understand. Okay, so I'm hoping that you could bring some light into this. There's a video where you're like sitting in the couch, and then you like get up and open up the door and yell something out of the window. Do you know which one I'm talking about?
That was during quarantine. I'm so glad you brought that up. So, being a news reporter in quarantine, at FOX31, we did the responsible thing. So reporters were working from home, which was working in your own apartment. So I had to turn my one bedroom into essentially a studio.
Yeah.
And I was one of the lucky ones that had a balcony. So I would record myself standing on the balcony and have a nice backdrop of Denver and people walking by on the sidewalk, and it looked really, really nice. But after doing this night after night after night, people began to look up at me and say, who is that girl with this light on her talking to inside of her apartment? And eventually people started asking questions, and it was my neighbors that were also out on the balcony like, hey, what are you doing? And, you know, I had to be like, I'm with the news. And then they would start watching, and then, you know, they would see me live or recorded, and then they would shout, that was really good. And I'd say, hey, thanks. So that's how I met a lot of my neighbors during quarantine, was them asking questions about why I was recording myself on the balcony every night. So
what a fun way to meet neighbors.
Yeah, so you were actually just, because you knew you had an audience from shouting distance, no microphone needed, or whatever. What are those things called again?
Oh, what, like the...
What is that called? Is it
a
a microphone?
Those
megaphones.
The
megaphones. Thank you. Yes.
They have a siren on there.
Yeah, no megaphone needed. A siren.
Yeah, there's a siren on there. Alarms.
He hopped on his bicycle in Italia and hit the siren.
Arthur likes to make
to make sure everyone got out of the way.
I'm from New England, but it doesn't really represent anything we believe back there. But it is a siren on the megaphone. Fact remains.
Good to know.
Yeah, during quarantine, it was funny because I think we saw some of the best like AFV clips and stuff from news reporters. Everyone was at home. People were blasting through the doors. You had like children coming in and just wrecking the scene, which I think adds to the realness of it, which I really enjoyed.
Yes.
It takes away from that like real stern, studious, professional side. And hey, we're at the house. Whatever happened, we got dogs barking.
Yeah. Yeah, you have plenty of those. And you do your Zoom interviews, and sometimes you have people, your neighbors knocking on the door. My sister was over once visiting, and she had to, duck behind me and didn't actually duck, so she saw she was in the shot. Yeah, it was a very interesting couple of months being a news reporter during quarantine. But I'm back out in the field now, and I'm very excited.
Feels good,
about that. Feels very good.
Get the legs moving, get the
Yes.
blood moving. Right before we hopped on, well, not right before, but a little bit before you came in, we went ahead and did all 6 flights of the
My
staircase
legs
here.
are still hurting.
Here.
Yeah. And we've been kind of teasing it,
Never did.
but it's good to get out. It's good to move the body and get out there. So I know I put on some weight during the quarantine. I definitely did. I had my little workout phase, and I'm trying to get back into it. I'm trying to get into better portion control. But I was trying to put some would you rathers together, and I'm going to spill the beans on this because I actually didn't find one, because I was looking for best food in Lancaster, PA. And I was trying to find one where it's like I want to ask her 2 different foods. But no, this isn't one of the Would You Rathers.
Okay.
This is a story of a Would You Rather that never made it. This is what it is.
Okay, yeah, the one that didn't make the cut. All right.
Yes. So what are some of the best foods that are local to Lancaster, PA, would you say?
Well, first, it is Lancaster, Pennsylvania.
Lancaster.
Lancaster. With
Lancaster?
Like kiss, like Lancaster.
Lancaster.
Yeah. And people know you're not from Lancaster if you say Lancaster. Because there's a Lancaster, California. But we're Lancaster, Pennsylvania.
Lancaster.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
I've been saying it wrong my whole life.
It's all right. It's okay. But you know what? Better late than never. So what foods?
Yeah, the top foods out there. What are some of the
top foods?
Yeah.
Actually, I was just home this weekend, and I had a list of things to do, which was essentially just foods I wanted to eat. And so the novelty, the go-to dessert is called a whoopie pie. And I don't know, have you heard of a whoopie pie before?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
I'm from the East Coast, so it's familiar.
Yeah. People out here don't understand what I'm talking about. But they're at all the weddings, at all the family reunions, all the celebrations. Basically just 2 cakes with cream in the middle, and it's glorious. So that's probably one of the tops. Then there's also a food called chow chow.
Okay, yeah, I was reading about that. Yeah.
You heard about chow chow?
Yeah, it's like the end of the season. Vegetables go in there.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
It's like a goulash almost.
It's like a goulash with vegetables, and it's in a vinegar mix. Yeah, and the Amish make it best, I think. Not the Englishers, the Amish. And you get them in jars, and they can them. And yeah, I went home and bought some from the Amish just because I needed that.
And it was delicious.
And it was delicious. Yeah, just canned vegetables.
What about scrapple?
Scrapple's good. Not a personal favorite, but a lot of people from Lancaster would go for it.
It's an interesting dish, I feel like. We had it up in New England, too, and my old boss used to joke about it all the time. He's like, I don't even know what it is. He's like, it's just the leftover animal parts just scrapped up with a little bit of maple flavor on it.
Just sprinkle some maple in there.
Yeah,
there
and
you
that's
go.
it, and you just serve it, and people will eat it. You know?
I mean, I'm up for that. I had a super savory breakfast pancake from a place that is close to my place near it's Inverness area. Either way, that doesn't matter. But it was this pancake that had like seared cheese on one end and then had meats all mixed into it. So it was a super savory pancake. Tasted so delicious with a little bit of ketchup on there. But it was so savory that you needed to down 16 ounces of water right after drinking.
What about orange juice? Why wouldn't you have that?
Well, because I didn't have that on hand, Kevin.
Fair
It wasn't something I was
you
working
made
with
it sound
at
like
the
you had to
time.
have water with it. There's other options, aren't there?
Well, is water going to hydrate you? Is orange juice going to hydrate you like water?
I'm not sure what it's going to do, but I'll tell you this, Amy. This is what I got to deal with. And breakfast foods are delicious. I like breakfast. Back in New England, we used to do, Boston baked beans were a big thing. It wasn't until I moved to Colorado that I learned about green chili. I moved out here in 2007. You know what green chili was, Amy?
Yes,
the first time
green
I heard
chili,
about
everything out here. I was not
everything's green
prepared for
chili.
that. Yeah.
That's alarming.
No one's prepared for that, but then your taste buds
But it's so good.
want to do that dance.
Do you like green chili?
I do now. Yeah.
See, that's how I feel. The first time I had it, I was like, what the hell is green chili? And still when I talk to my friends back home and I tell them about it, they go, what is that? Is that red chili that's gone bad in the fridge? What's going on there? Because I'm telling you right now, and maybe in Pennsylvania it's probably the same. In New England, we don't know what green chili is. It's just not a thing.
I just don't ask questions. I just see it's on the menu, so I say, I guess it must be good. And I guess I'm going to have it now. Yeah, my sister visited, and she said, what's up with all this green chili on everything? Breakfast, lunch, dinner, desserts, green chili. I don't question. I think it's good.
It's a big Denver thing. I love it.
It's delicious. I love it. I'm so happy I had that. And we could talk food for hours. I mean, we're not necessarily a foodie podcast. I know you can't tell by how we're looking on this end. But I wanted to kind of know. So you're from Lancaster,
yes.
Lancaster, PA,
yes.
And you've been in journalism for a long time. Mm-hmm. You've only been in journalism.
Yeah, that's all I've ever known.
So there's a lot of states out there. What led you to Colorado?
Well, I would love to explain how kind of local news works as like working your way up through the ranks. Can I
please,
explain?
yeah, because
Okay.
we don't know that for sure.
We're about to learn.
Not a lot of people do. So there are, I want to say, 210 television news markets in the United States of America. So within those markets, there can be multiple cities, but basically each market has its own set of viewers. So number 1 in America, which is the most amount of people in a city. Can you guess?
L.A.?
Close.
New York.
New York.
Yeah.
New York is number 1. Has the most amount of people by far. On the other end, 210 is the smallest television news market. Can you guess which city that is?
I'm going to say somewhere in Kansas.
I was going to go Boise or Montana.
It's Montana, yeah.
Good job. 2 out of 2,
that was
Kev.
good.
Congratulations.
That's good. Glendive, Montana. And then in between are, every other city in America. So when you start in local news, you basically go to a really small market where there's not a lot of people, not a lot of news. You go, you make your mistakes, and do about 2 years there. You do your time. I started in market 109, which was a small market in the middle of Pennsylvania. The cities were Johnstown, Altoona, and State College. So you do your time there, and then you kind of work your way up. So after my time there, then I went to another market in Pennsylvania, which was the capital market. So it was Harrisburg, Lancaster, and York, which happened to be my hometown. So I reported in my hometown. And that was market 45. So did my 2 years in market 45, and then worked my way up to where we are right now in Denver. Can you guess what Denver is?
What the total
The market.
I'm going to say, is it in the 200,000s? 2 to 500,000. Is that too much of a gap?
Well, the actual number from like 1 to 210. So 1 is New York, 210 is Glendive, Montana.
Okay, I'm going to say 57.
Higher. Much higher.
83.
Much higher. Higher as in
Better. So it's 37.
it's actually in the teens.
Oh, really?
Yeah. We're 16.
Oh,
Wow.
Let's go Denver. Represent.
I can see that, though. I mean, this is a rapidly growing city.
Yes. Yeah. So if you're in 1 to 20, that's like really good. That's kind of the making in local news.
Nice.
So yeah, we're 16. So that's
terrific.
Yeah, and I've always wanted to move to Colorado, and I mean, it was always my dream. So when I saw there was an opening in Denver, I applied, and here I am.
So did you know people that lived out here prior, or I mean, what was the draw for you? Is it the hiking?
Yeah.
And skiing, right?
And the skiing, big skier. I came to Colorado for the first time when I was 12 on a family vacation. We went to the North Fork Dude Ranch in Bailey, and I just fell in love with it, the mountains, and it was always a goal of mine. So 10 years later.
You knew well before. You'd visit Colorado, and you're like, that's where I ultimately want to be.
Yeah, this was
here you
always
are.
the goal. This was always the goal.
That's tremendous.
Yeah.
I mean, so I've been very much into motivational stuff, and I'm just going to kind of, talk a little bit about that. I won't get too heavy on that again this week, but the whole visualizing something, like you saw Colorado, you visualized it, you kind of had the goal in mind, and that there's a lot of power. That speaks something like when you really set your mind to something and you're seeing it in your head and you're doing things to pursue it, it's constant. It's a constant grow. Like how we show up here every week. We want to show up and do it well and do a good job and CQC and it manifests. Mm-hmm. Things manifest in life. I truly believe that.
Could not agree anymore. I had Denver as my background on my computer. Just the scenery of Denver for years. And it was always in the back of my mind. That's where I'm going to go. That's where I'm going to go. And when you tell yourself that's what's going to happen and you visualize it, it will. It will absolutely happen. So
yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah.
It truly is amazing when you visualize the win, so to speak. This is where I want to be. You put everything you got into it. It will happen. Mm-hmm. It will. And it's easy to get discouraged along the way, but when you believe it and you achieve it and you own it, that's what's going to happen.
That's the key, is you have to believe it. You can say, this is what I want, but until you believe it, until you see yourself there, until you start telling yourself that this is what's going to happen, so I'm going to make steps for this to happen in my life, then that's what you need to do. And that's what I did. I started packing up things even before I got the job. I just say, I'm going to Denver. And everything aligned. And I could not agree anymore with that statement. That's what worked for me, really.
The mind is a tool that we all have. And I feel like it's so frequently put in the back of the shed. Yeah. Like people don't normally unless you're constantly practicing this stuff, like thinking about your thoughts and being cognizant of your thought process. And, this biker just went behind me while I'm trying to record my newscast. Like, what's up with this guy? And how do you handle the little things? It's a constant vigilant thing. So if you're out there, you're looking to improve your mentality, your thought process, don't expect it to happen right away. Like you may have little spurts of motivation and lose it, and then get that back again and lose it again. Like it's a lifestyle change. Like you have to commit to it, like you commit to a job, like you commit to a career, I should say.
Yeah, it's trial and error. Seeing what works, life experiences. I mean, that's the biggest thing for me is just going through different things, which I'm sure you can speak to as well. I mean, especially in your business, you have to constantly adapt and be on the fly and be able to adapt quickly. I mean, real quick. Here's the plan.
Quickly.
Something just happened. Let's adapt. And that's you can't. I don't know if that's a skill you can teach. That's something that's almost like intuitive.
Yeah, you have to. And even we were talking about how I never know where I'll be during the day. I mean, there's times where I'll be interviewing someone, about what they saw in a really bad storm. They're talking about tornado damage, and then I'll get a call from my producers and I'll say, hey, I know you're on this story, wrap it up. There is an officer involved shooting that we need you to get to. And so you're wrapping up the interview, this emotional interview, and in the back of your head you're saying, okay, I'm just going to wrap this up, then I'm going to get in my car, and then I'm going to go to a crime scene. And you have to shift gears, but you also have to treat that situation, with sensitivity and with grace, and not make them feel like they're not important because you were called to something else. It's not their fault that breaking news happened. You wrap up what you're doing, you thank them for your time, you air what can be aired, get in your car, change your shoes, and go to that crime scene, and then get in I'm talking to police mode now. It's definitely, it keeps you on your toes. I always joke I have like 5 pairs of shoes in the back of my car because I never know where I'm going to be. I have mud boots, high heels, sneakers, everything for what's going to happen. Pants, dresses. Yeah, it's
Constantly prepared for any scenario that's thrown at you. You have to be willing to adapt quickly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And again, I don't think that, that's something that just has to come naturally, I feel like. Anybody can be coached up into that position, but it takes the right person to be able to do it. Because like you said, there's the emotional aspect behind it as well. We're here covering this story. This is a serious situation. And now we're being pulled off to God knows what, Right. So it does. It takes that level of commitment and compassion to be able to say, okay, we're going to wrap this up properly.
Right.
Now we're packing up the operation and going to handle something else.
And it's easy to forget when you're interviewing people that for you, it's just another day on the job. Just another person you're interviewing, putting a mic, in their face. But for them, often...
It's a big day.
It's a big day.
Yeah.
If you have a news crew rolling up to your house with lights and
people.
production of camera crew and a reporter, and they're asking you questions and sitting you down on your back, to you, it's just another day on the job. But for them, that's probably the event for the week.
Maybe
a lifetime event.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, and to piggyback off that, so like when you do arrive in those situations where maybe it's like an intimate scenario you're covering, like, okay, we're going to this person's home.
Yeah.
How much time is spent, off camera, just like, okay, this is how we're going to run it. Here's the lowdown, getting to know these people so they don't feel like you're just showing up to, here's the interview, we're out. Do you try to make friends with them? Do you, how's that work?
That's a really good point. I mean, the toughest part about journalism and local news in general is you have 6 hours to get all of your stuff done for the day. Think about everything that you have to do. You have to find the interview, drive to the interview, do the interview, edit the interview, write the story, and then set up a live shot. That's a lot to do. So a lot of times people will want to talk, and that's great, and you have to make time for that. But also it's a balance of, okay, I need to get this rolling so I make deadline. But yeah, I definitely like to give people some time to sit down and breathe, and I'll say, hey, this is where we're going to go with the interview. And I always tell them this isn't live, so if you want to do something over, feel free to do that, and I'll make it look good.
That probably takes a lot of the weight off.
That probably makes it feel more comfortable.
Yeah. If it's live, that's when people get really nervous. But it's very rare now that we do live interviews.
You're like, sorry, today, no takebacks. Okay?
This is on the spot.
Are you ready to do it right the first time?
Once and done. Don't mess up. Yeah.
You have to definitely put the pressure on people, especially if they're not familiar, like you said, with having a camera and a mic and lights in their face.
Right.
I mean, most people naturally would react a little bit like, oh, I don't know about all this.
Yeah.
I mean, these are the same kind of people that don't want to have pictures taken of them. So
Yes.
I
Yeah.
can imagine that's a big challenge in that industry.
Working people, understanding people, and making people feel comfortable is massive, because people, that is what we do. Is sometimes I feel like a bit of a salesperson trying to convince people to go on camera, because it's not me that tells the story, it's them. So if I don't have their voice, I don't have a story. So a lot of them say, well, let me just talk to you. But it's like, I'm TV. This isn't news. This is a newspaper. Unfortunately, I need you to step in front of my camera and tell me exactly what you just said, which is really hard for a lot of people. And so that's one of the biggest challenges too, is convincing them that you can go on camera. I'm not here to do any trick questions. I just need your voice to tell this story. So, yeah. A lot of traits that a reporter needs that you don't even think about. And then, you go live and you have a cyclist that runs in the back.
Yeah,
of your live
you
shot.
got to stay adaptable. Like
Yeah,
that
yeah.
never happens. Like people don't just yell at you when you're chilling on your patio from
No.
quarantine. They don't just yell at
But
you
they see
while
a
you're
camera
mid
and lights,
recording.
and they go, I'm gonna go ahead and work myself into the scenario.
Oh,
I
yeah.
see it all the time, especially like with the weather reports. On the hurricanes and like crazy things are happening. All of a sudden, there's a guy back here doing a dance. He wants to be on the Weather Channel or whatever. So there's a lot to work with.
There's a lot to work with. Yeah, it's a lot of patience. And you just got to tell yourself, don't get angry. Don't get mad, even though you want to get mad. Because you work so hard to tell the story and to get all the elements. And then you go live and you're telling the story. And then there's this person in the background going, ah, and it just takes away. Because at this point, viewers aren't watching you. They're watching the guy over my shoulder, But it's a once and done thing. Because a lot of time you're giving the report live. So that's what's frustrating. It's the fact that I'm trying to do my job and I've worked all day to get these elements, and then one person thinks they're funny. But
I'd have a hard time handling that, I feel like, because I'm a pretty
Yeah, Kevin would be the type of guy, like, after he goes by, like, yeah, buddy, I'm not mid-recording or anything, so sorry
would.
about that, people. Kevin would pull one of those.
I'd make it quick, just a little, but I don't know how unprofessional that is. I'm an unprofessional professional, so I feel like in that scenario, I'd be like, hey, man, do you mind? And anyway, so we were covering this story,
yes.
Because you want to say something, but you can't, right? Because you got to
Yeah.
maintain professionalism.
Right.
And that's discipline.
Because what, do they give you, they're like, you have 15 seconds, and, like, you put together your best words for that 15 seconds. Is that kind of how it works?
Yeah, essentially. Because really, you work all day for 90 seconds. You don't have
amazing.
more than 90 seconds to tell your story, unless it's a massive story and they just stay on you live. But for the most part, you have 90 seconds to tell your story. So, they talk about the sound bite. You just got to keep it clear and concise. So every second counts.
Every second counts.
Yeah.
Of every day, of every minute. We're hustlers in this room. I'm sorry, I'm getting back into my motivational stuff. Every second counts. Do it. You got to go do
this
it.
is good stuff,
Go
man.
all the way.
You got to go all the way.
You got to go all the way if you want to.
And
If you want
to
to
win
do
it.
it. Yeah. What are you trying to half butt it?
Yeah,
What are you trying to do here?
doing here?
No, I could go on that for a while. So, I'm a coffee lover. I drink coffee every morning, like most Americans.
That's more than just Americans, Arthur. I think a lot of people drink coffee.
The British,
The Russians.
crumpet and tea.
Have you had Das Bog? That's a Russian coffee.
Is it?
Yeah, it's Russian.
Oh, I didn't know that. I've had a bunch of Dasbog.
You got to
It
tighten
didn't.
up, bro.
It didn't taste any that much different.
I'm just telling you that other people drink coffee other than Americans.
Well, hey,
It's true.
to the world then. So, to the world, if you had to pick between only drinking iced coffee or hot coffee for the rest of your life, doesn't matter if it's summer, winter, or whatever, Amy, which one are you going to pick?
Hot black coffee all day. every day.
Black?
No cream, no
Black.
sugar?
No.
Whoa.
I don't got time for that.
That's aggressive. That's aggressive. I do cream only, and I thought that was aggressive. Black?
No,
That's-
cream is not aggressive.
First of all, Arthur, it's just a splash, okay? I don't do sugar. I've tasted what you drink, so don't come at me with that.
that was Turkish coffee with
Yeah,
grounds in it.
That was just one scenario.
That was strong.
Let me tell you something. I don't do sweet coffee,
No.
so I like just cream only. To go black coffee? Now, what are we dealing with? Dunkin' Donuts? Are we dealing with Folgers?
Yeah, what's
go-to?
your do you do fresh bean, you crush it yourself? What do you
I used to go above and beyond, but now at this point, if someone just hands me a cup, I just say, okay, does it have caffeine in it? Got it. All right, we're good.
I know why you went straight with the coffee is because with the ordering, it gets too complicated.
No.
These people, you're just like, just give me the black. Give me the black coffee.
Just give me the black coffee.
Yeah.
Typically can't go wrong. Yeah. Typically can't.
You know, I don't mind sipping a fresh ground cup of fresh black coffee, no cream, no sugar. I don't mind that. You know, it could be pretty opening up, and like it feels like a good morning sometimes when you don't need additives and you just do it straight.
Depends on the day and how strong that black coffee is. I feel like.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, because
That's
some of
true.
that stuff could take. I mean, it could take the paint off the tarmac. I feel like.
Yes.
You know, depending on how strong you want to make it. But a little bit of cream in there, I think, lightens it up. I want that caramel color, Amy. That's my go-to.
Okay, the caramel color. Yeah.
So, do you still like your black coffee when it turns cold?
No.
You don't? Only hot.
Got to reheat.
Yeah, they gotta reheat.
Is it a
Okay.
reheat or just get rid of it, start over?
I'll reheat. Yeah.
I'm questionable on the reheat.
I'm not a bougie coffee drinker. I mean, as long as it's hot and black, I really don't. I don't care. Sometimes you take what you get, you know.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to take what you got.
I think I'm going iced coffee.
Are you?
Yeah, because I love the cold beverages any time of the year.
Fair.
I feel like it's easy to drink. Like you can't chug hot coffee. You know, it's more of a sip, like enjoying the moment. But with the iced coffee, you could be like, you know, I have to get this down. Like let's take straws full.
I think it could be seasonal too, though, Arthur. I feel like you could have iced coffee in the summer.
No, but but it's a would you rather.
Yeah,
so
that's
you're
fair.
only drinking hot or cold for the rest of your life.
All right, I'm taking hot.
Going hot?
Yeah, absolutely.
We got 2 hots and 1 cold here.
Hot and cold. Hey, everyone's got a preference, you know? That's the beauty of it.
I'm not a big fan of the sweet coffees though either. Definitely like a
Just
little
like
bit
sweet
of
beer, though.
I like the creamer for the acidity. So do you not like cream in your coffee at all? Like that's not a good tasting
That's
coffee.
a no-go.
No.
Would you rather go dark and sweet or what's the other option? Dark and cream.
Dark and sweat.
Would you take the sweet?
Yeah.
It's
I
interesting.
don't know why. I just do not like cream in my coffee. No sugar. I really just love the taste of coffee. And there's nothing better than waking up and just pouring coffee and just sitting there with it and looking out the window. Yeah. Yeah. I don't really trust people that put a lot of cream and sugar in their coffee.
Okay. I see what you're saying here.
Yeah. You're a coffee drinker.
No, yeah. I because there's a fine line there of when are you drinking coffee and when are you drinking sweet milk?
That's what it is.
Exactly.
You know, that's exactly what it is. I feel the same about beer drinkers. It's like, are we, you know, people that put fruit in their beer, I think it's acceptable for some situations. Obviously, a lime and a Corona, an orange slice and a Blue Moon.
Wait, I think we've covered this one. Is lime a fruit? Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
Arthur.
See, I have these moments. You have to forgive. Kevin, please continue. Let's
Yes,
move on.
Arthur.
Let's move forward, please.
Well, I'm not going to even take that bait there, Amy, because it's too easy. But what I'm going to tell you is this. People that put fruit in their beer, it's questionable to me. I don't like sweet beer. It's the same thing. I don't like sweet coffee. I don't like sweet beer. You know, but then again, I wear cowboy boots and jeans, so that should tell you what kind of beer I drink. And that
Do you like sours?
You know, I've had them. I wouldn't say that I dislike them, but I wouldn't purchase them over some of the other options.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah,
IPAs?
strong.
Yeah.
So yeah, those Indian Pale Ales, they definitely come in with a kick. I enjoy them.
Yeah.
Again, though, I'm more of like that just campfire beer drinker. You know,
Yeah.
Bud Light, Coors, you know, you name it.
Course never fails.
It's pretty delicious. I feel like.
I like the Coors. You know, it had to grow on me. I'm from Colorado, and for some reason, I didn't like Coors that much growing up. But as I'm maturing more, you know, I realize that it's not so important as long as it doesn't make me feel so bloated. You know.
Well, I mean, everybody has their own taste acquisition, right? You acquire a taste for a beer, and for me, Bud, I was a Bud guy early.
Bud guy?
Yeah, Bud Light.
Oh.
Amy, you don't look real impressed with that.
Reminds me of like Keystone. Like we'll be drinking college.
Really? You
know?
think Keystone's compared to Bud and Bud Light?
Yeah. I don't know why I put them in the same category.
Wow.
Yeah. You remember
Like-
Keystone? You ever drink Keystone?
Yeah, that's beer pong beer.
Yeah. Beer pong.
College beer.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
But Amy, I mean, Keystone to Budweiser? I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, maybe I shouldn't have said that out loud.
Hey, everyone's entitled to their own opinion.
That's absolutely okay. I give Kevin a hard time all the time.
Yeah, never stops.
and Kevin, you know, he gives me some pretty reasonable swings. You know, he swings at it, you know, and he sometimes knocks it right out of the park. But so back to kind of your journey in life, you know. So you went to school for journalism. You always studied that. So how young were you when you realized, like, because every kid has that dream. Like, I wanted to be a rapper when I was a kid. You know, so like, when did you know that news was your true calling?
Oh, so early, Arthur. I would have, during that family vacation I told you about to Colorado when I was 12, I narrated the whole thing on camera like it was a news report, and I still have footage of it, you know, and today we did the rapids, and today we did the horseback riding. Like, and when I was 12 years old, my elementary school had a TV news studio that was about the size of this room, and I would sit there and I would say, then the lunch of the day is chicken on roll, and the joke of the day is knock knock, you know, and it was a really crap quality broadcast, but I would tell the cycle day, the announcements, and the lunch of the day, and I was always the news girl from when I was 12. And then we went to middle school, and I would do like the roving reports in the middle school, and I would ask the teachers, what did you do before class today? And when I got to high school, I was still the anchor, and I would do the morning announcements, so I was always the news girl. And then I just thought maybe I should just do this in real life.
That's awesome.
And then, yeah, graduated college in 2016. I'll show my age here. And a couple months later, I was working in the field in State College, Pennsylvania for my first job. So I've always wanted to do it. And that's kind of goes back to what you were saying about envisioning something and just, you know, making it happen. And that's what I did. So
That's incredible.
yeah, I don't know any different. Sometimes it scares me that I don't know any different. You know,
Yeah.
it's like,
Well, what are you going to do when news stops happening?
if news stops happening, I don't know. What am I going to do? Teach?
So another a good would you rather that my co-host actually came up with, and I want to give Kevin credit because I normally put these together, and he actually had
I
a
never
really
come
good
up
one.
with would you rather's, but I thought of this today.
Yeah, so why don't you go ahead and present them?
No,
Excited.
but you wrote it down
Okay,
word for word.
I did write it down.
So let's get that.
So that
accurate.
always helps. So,
All right.
would you rather be the first reporter to cover a world news story? So it's going all over the globe. You're the first reporter to cover this.
Okay.
Or have a dream interview with your favorite celebrity. And so I'm kind of curious who the celebrity could be. And then also, are you doing the world news report or the celebrity interview?
That was a good one. You came up with this, Kevin?
Yeah, that was good,
did.
Kev. That was
Okay.
good.
Yeah.
I put some thought into it.
Yeah, points to that. See, I get well. The question is here: would you rather go for the fame or for your personal satisfaction?
Essentially,
Yeah,
right?
that
Yeah.
is a good.
Right.
Yes.
Because the first one,
both,
obviously,
both carry a lot of weight.
both carry a lot of weight, right? But the second one, I think. Oh man, that's tough. If I had to interview someone, though, I would interview Paul McCartney. That would be my interview. Yeah, but I think that in itself would go national and exclusive with Paul McCartney.
Everyone would want to know what
yeah,
he's
everyone
saying.
would know what Paul's thinking, right?
So that would be world news with it.
Yeah.
So that's actually a very good choice because then you're tapping into both worlds there.
Right. That's what I'm going to do. We're going to
So you're going to interview Paul
I'm going to
McCartney
interview Paul McCartney.
over
yeah.
taking that break in world news story, being
Yeah.
the first reporter on the scene. That speaks volume to your character right there because it shows that, you know, you're not in it for necessarily the fame and trying to get to the top real quick. You know, you want to cover the real stuff and
Yeah.
what really matters
Yeah.
to you.
To me, right?
That speaks volume to your
Yeah.
character, I think.
And everyone would get joy out of listening to
That'd be a great
So-
interview.
McCartney.
So I'm trying to put myself in whatever 5 pairs of shoes you're wearing today. So if I'm interviewing, you know, and I'm about to interview my favorite celebrity or the person that I've looked at my hero, you know, what do you go into that? How do you prep yourself to not look like, you know, a super excited fan?
Like you're not
Yeah.
super nervous
Get rid
and
of that starstruck feature.
Yeah. How do you
Yeah.
do that? What kind of preparation would you?
oh, a lot of acting, right? I guess just kind of pretend like you've done this before and I know exactly what I'm talking about. This is fine.
The own it.
You gotta own it,
Hashtag
right?
own it.
Fake it till you make it.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's it. That was exactly what I was going to say.
Yeah.
It is true
'Cause
though.
I felt that same scenario when I met. So my childhood hero was Jeff Gordon.
Okay.
Right, NASCAR guy, you know, 4-time champion, Hall of Fame, Jeff Gordon. And I had the chance to do a VIP experience with him in 2017. And I knew 4 months in advance that I was going to be doing this. And until this day, I would say Jeff Gordon would be my selection for that, even though I met him already. But to go off what you're saying, I had 4 months to prepare for what I was going to say to him, how I was going to act around him.
Yeah.
So I did do some acting. And Arthur's already cracking up because he knows me pretty
Because
well.
I could see Kevin like 4 months in advance being like, okay, the moment's coming, buddy. Let's get this together.
Well,
3 days, 2 days.
yeah, that's kind of how it felt. It was like, okay, time to be that guy.
Yeah.
You know, or trying to be that person. You know, just the same feeling when you go on air, you know. So when I had my chance with Jeff, I took full advantage of it. And I think that was it, at that day, it was somewhere around May of 2017, I was never starstruck again. That was it. Because I met the guy I've always looked up to. Like, there wasn't anything higher for me, Jeff Gordon. Still to this day, that's who I would still pick. So I don't know where I was going with that, but that's how I felt about
That's
that.
all it took, though, was just kind of meeting the top of the top, your ideal famous person,
And interacting with him.
and interacting with them. How did it go?
It went great. Yeah, very similar to what we're doing now. Just real good conversation. You know, I wasn't a real shaky voice or anything like that. Starstruck. Got to take pictures.
Yeah, the picture turned out great.
Oh, of course it did.
That was one of the biggest smiles I've ever seen on your face.
I mean, it was decent.
Was there anything that surprised you about him and his character when you got to meet him in person?
I think I was a little bit surprised by his appearance, how small he was.
Yeah.
You know, not to downgrade my man, because I look.
Yeah, no,
Jeff
the
Gordon's
NASCAR drivers,
they're very
yeah.
tiny, right? So when you see me in this picture with him, I'm only 6'1", but I look like a giant compared to Jeff Gordon. This guy that's the Hall of Fame NASCAR guy, you know, biggest guy in NASCAR, and here I am standing next to him, and I look huge. That was everybody's first remark, like, "Are you just that tall, or is he that small?" So that was my biggest takeaway from that, but
height.
also then getting rid of that starstruck aspect, which I'm sure is crucial in your business too. I mean, for different reasons, you know, just being able to talk to people. They're people.
They're
Right.
people. They put their pants on the same way I do, you know?
Yeah.
That was because I grew up watching this news station, and I would see these anchors every day, every single night when I was eating dinner with my parents. And when I was a senior in college, I got the opportunity to intern at that station. And, you know, you walk into this news station for the first time and you see these people in real life after watching them on TV for, you know, your entire life. And it's just, you get shaky and you forget what words do and how to, you know, look normal. And and after a while, I mean, you just kind of watch them and they're sitting at their desk and they're eating their granola bar and pulling papers out of the printer. You realize that they're just the same person, you know? But it's terrifying at first. And these people are like celebrities. And I felt like I was walking into Disneyland when I saw all these like celebrities to me for the
Sure.
first time. But yeah, after a while, you just kind of get used to it.
People are people.
People are people.
You know, everyone, it doesn't matter who you are, what status you have. Everyone wants to just be treated with some respect and treated fairly.
Yeah.
And you know, if you could accomplish that every day, then you're going to connect with people and it's going to come naturally. It's because, you know, people want that connection. People want to feel included and part of the community. And, you know, that's what's cool about news, you know, and Kevin, it was interesting when Kevin wanted to start this project of the podcast with me, because he was presenting it like, you know, this is unscripted news. Like, we can talk about everything we want. We could talk about however we want to talk about it and do it in a way that, you know, because when you're on public TV, you have to hit certain standards.
Right.
But when your show's on the internet, you know, there's less rules.
Absolutely.
And so it's kind of interesting because it truly is just a way of communication and a way of connection. Mm-hmm. And to master that and go through the day in the life of a news anchor like yourself, like, you know, you have all these different shoes because you don't know what kind of ground you're going to be walking on. Right. But that it's funny to talk about, but that holds a lot of weight in that statement, because it's like, you know, there's so much that could happen every day, and physically you're prepared by, you know, having the right shoes to walk in, but mentally you also have to be prepared to, you know, deal with anything.
Yeah. Oh, my word. And there's days, I think the toughest days are when you interview someone that has lost everything and is crying to you, and you're not mentally prepared to hold that weight. You know, you just woke up and went to work and thought maybe you'd be covering a press conference, but you're interviewing a person that lost their entire home in a house fire. You know, those are the hardest days when you're saying, I'm so sorry, you know, you lost everything, but can I talk to you about it? Mm-hmm. You know, and then you have
you almost have to be brave to be able to do that respectfully, because sometimes it's hard to talk about the important things, the things that really matter. Sometimes those could be difficult conversations.
Yeah.
But if you can approach somebody respectfully and with love and empathy in your heart, and that translates to your energy when you talk to them, you could really open up a lot of different perspectives on things.
Mm-hmm. And you can see it. The different types of news reporters, the ones that are successful have, empathy. The ones that don't get the interview typically are the ones that march up and think that they have the right to shove a microphone in someone's face and get the full story. But, no one has to speak to me just because they went through something or saw something or witnessed something. They don't have to talk to me. So that's definitely an art, making people trust you, making people feel comfortable. Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say, it's definitely an unspoken art, I think, what you guys do, to be able to show up at very difficult situations. You're on the scene.
Yeah.
It's happening. Here's what's going on. People are now learning about it. Mm-hmm. And then, okay, this person saw it. This person just lost somebody. And to be able to interact with that, it takes mental toughness, I feel like.
Yeah. Because
I'm an emotional person. Arthur's an emotional person. You have to, because you still have to maintain composure. Right. But you have compassion, which I'm sure you probably do off camera a little bit, maybe cry with these people, whatever.
Yeah.
Feel their pain. But we're trying to put forth the news story, capturing what's going on. But this is a serious situation. These people are hurting.
Right. Yeah.
So that's what I feel like is like the behind the scenes kind of difficult portion of what you do.
Yeah. And not even, you don't have a lot of time to think about what am I going to ask these people, And that's something I really had to learn was, you don't have a lot of time to prepare the questions ahead of time. Sometimes a person walks up to you and you just have to think off the bat, okay, what's the perfect question right now that's going to give me a good response, isn't too invasive, but, kind of hits the nail on the head here and it's going to tell the story. That's definitely the hardest part. And then I think switching it around and going live, because sometimes you have 5 minutes from you get to a scene, you have to get the video, get the interview, put it all together, and then put it into your head. That's a way that when it comes out, people are going to understand, and it's a story. And obviously you can't say and and give me a minute.
So what do you get so I just said but is that a big no-no in news if you're doing that?
No-no.
Then because I did do
words.
Words.
That's what it is, and that's what I did public speaking in college, and that was in there a lot. So do you ever find yourself you're going about it, you're talking about something, and you start a sentence, and then halfway through that sentence you realize
you don't know how you're gonna end
where is this sentence going?
Oh, all the time.
Yeah.
All of the time. And the key is to just not say or a like. And there's so many bloopers I could pull up to you. There was just one time there was a plane crash. I don't know if you heard. It was in what was the city? But it was 2 planes that collided.
Yeah, I heard about that one.
Near miss.
What?
Isn't that a near miss when they collide?
No, they hit each other, but no one was hurt miraculously.
Because there was parachutes that deployed from the back of the airplane that safely brought the airplane back to the ground.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And it was a miracle too, because it was just about 20 feet away from a neighborhood, so the plane didn't even crash on a house. Yeah. But I got there and I had to go live probably 3 minutes after pulling up to the scene, and I had no idea what was going on. I just got there and, dialed up in my IFB, and I'm just talking about what I'm seeing, and I just would start sentences, and I don't even know where I'm going with this. And you kind of have to wrap it up and make it sound good, but that's kind of your worst nightmare when you're going live is running out of things to say. And I was told as an intern when I was 22 that going live would never get easier. Or sorry, the nerves would never go away. Mm-hmm. And she was right. I've been going live pretty much every day for the past 5 years, and my heart still races, and I still have to tell myself to breathe, because it's nerve-wracking. You never know what you're going to do, and you never know what your mind's going to do. Sometimes you have it, I know exactly what I'm going to say, and then a a weird bird will fly by and you forget everything that you were going to say. But you're on live TV, so you can't just say, let's do it again. You just got to keep talking.
Yeah.
And that's so difficult.
So it's almost like you're a queen of improv.
Queen of it. And I was thinking about
say.
taking improv classes because that's basically what it is. Yeah. And obviously you have to be accurate with everything you're saying. So, yeah, it's tough.
Yeah, it is tough. There's a lot of pressure behind that. I mean, your feet are being held to the fire intensely.
Yeah.
And, it's just kind of going with it, I think, because when you can see a reporter struggling, which we've all seen on bloopers and stuff, where they're like, that obviously is going to stand out more than just owning it or fake it till you make it, like we said a little bit.
Right. Yeah.
It's difficult to do, though.
It's very, yeah.
We do a lot here on this show, just like, what are we even talking about? And we just kind of pretend like we know what we're talking about, and it's not as noticeable. So I don't know if that translates to the professional side of it.
For any of our listeners, when I start a sentence fast and then start slowing down mid-sentence,
that's a technique we've learned.
You can't give it away.
But this is fun. Let's pry it open, or maybe we should write a book. Let's write a book and sell it.
Yeah.
Podcasting secrets and also newscasting secrets, brought to you from DTC.
Just roll with it. The key is to just roll with it. Yeah. No, it's hard. And I respect the veteran news reporters that don't need any notes and they can get on scene and they can talk about the wildfire and the direction that the wind's coming and the name of that mountain behind them. No sweat. But, a lot of times I don't have that information. You got to write down notes and yeah. So a lot of respect to the reporters that have been doing this forever and it's no sweat off their backs.
So you are a skier.
Yes.
So what is your dream mountain? Like what's your dream, what do they call it? Ski resorts? Is that what they call it?
I mean, if you're staying at a resort, then that would be Arthur.
But are all of them ski resorts or are they like...
I mean, if you do skiing, you don't have to stay at a resort.
True.
So what would you call Breckenridge? Is it just a ski town then? Like there's ski towns, there's ski resorts, you got ski cities
it's
probably.
A destination.
Yeah, but what do they call them?
I don't know.
So anyway, that doesn't pertain to the question. So if you could pick one place, what's your dream place anywhere in the world?
Well, let me say, being from Pennsylvania, as a skier and never having skied out west before I moved here, me and my friends would always watch, YouTube videos of people in Vail with powder up to their waist and being like, wow, are we ever going to get there? And it was this destination that was just so... like Vail, oh my word, And then I came out here and I was like, gotta get to Vail, gotta go to Vail, just want to go to Vail, just want to go to Vail so I can say I've been to Vail. And I think I went in like really early in the season and it was all icy and it was not at all what I was hoping for. So I kind of have a bad taste in my mouth from Vail. But I would say probably my dream... Breckenridge and Vail were the two ones.
Those
I
were
don't
the
know.
tops?
Yeah, I'm learning more.
Because I'm not a big skier. I'm from the state, but I'm not a skier or a snowboarder. So Colorado truly is one of the best places to shred the gnar.
I believe it. Yeah.
Is that a snowboarder term or does that work for skiers too?
I think it's a snowboard.
Okay.
Yeah. I want to say
that pow, fresh pow in the moan.
People get excited, man. I mean, this is a great place to do skiing and snowboarding. I'm not one of those. I came from New England, which had a little bit of skiing and snowboarding, but I mean, I did cross-country skiing. I thought I was pretty cool.
Do at least follow Jerry of the Day. No, Jerry of the Day.
Jerry of the Day.
Jerry of the Day.
What is that?
Oh, my word. It is an Instagram account that every day they post someone just doing absolutely something ridiculous on the ski slopes, like wearing their boots backwards or just sending it and failing into the mountain. Would recommend. Jerry of the Day.
Jerry of the Day.
Yeah.
I'll have to take a look at that.
Yeah, I'll definitely check that out because I love to see people just letting loose, having a good time, not taking themselves too seriously.
That's what life's about, man.
Yeah, it's about the little moments. Like, Kevin, when I'm brushing my teeth in the morning, I'm enjoying that moment.
Are you?
Yes. Aimee, when I'm grounding up my coffee in the morning and I'm putting it, sometimes I'll drink it black when I'm out of cream, that is living. It's all about the little things. And so I guess the whole point I'm trying to drive home with this sentence is, focus on the little moments in life, because there's a lot of little moments to make the day. And if you can enjoy the little things like, having fun tying your shoe or, double parallel parking, like trying 5 times because I can't parallel park that well today, that's part of living. Or having the person go behind you. Like it's it's all about the little things that make up us as individuals. And a lot of this stuff is cliche, and a lot of this is that, but it's humbling for me because I try to always grow as an individual. I try to feed myself, feed my brain, positive thoughts, positive affirmation, positive visualization, and try to see a better life. And it's easy to get caught up in like the day-to-day struggles, but really it's the day-to-day little living moments is what you got to make them.
It's a choice. A lot of it is a choice. Yeah. And then I've noticed the good moments, they're easy to overlook and they fly by, right? The good times in life. It's the hard moments when you're suffering at work that just seem to drag on, which means that those good moments, those little things, you really have to just realize when you're living in it. This is a really good moment. I have a little book that I carry around with me, and it's called Happy Moments. And whenever there's a moment, just a moment that I want to remember, I write the date, who I was with, and what it was. Whether it was walking into a bar for the first time without a mask, that moment of just, I want to remember this moment for the rest of my life. And I know that if I write it down, I'm going to remember it. But it's those little moments that make life great. And
so what's if you don't mind sharing, what would be one of your top little moments that you've written down? Like if you could think of your top three, what's one of your favorites?
I think one of my top three is my dad's pretty old. He came out and visited me. We went skiing together, and there was I don't know if you remember seeing these photos, but Steamboat. The lines at Steamboat were enormously long on this one Saturday. I mean, wrapped around the resort. We did news reports on it. It was bad. And my dad and I were standing in the line for hours, and we just looked at each other and we said, "You want to get out of here?" We said, "Yeah, let's get out of here." So we got out of the line. We got a refund for him, and we started day drinking. And there was a moment when we were walking out of the bar, and he's like 72, and he had a few drinks. So I put my arm around him, and he just looked at me, and he said, "I never thought the day would come when you're holding me." And that just made me really choke up, and it was one of those moments that I'm in a steamboat with my dad, and we're having a good time together. And for him to say that, so I just wrote that down. That was one of those little moments, leaving the bar together. We made the executive decision to not go skiing and have some drinks and catch up, but we had a great day. And for him, he said that. And so, yeah.
That's awesome.
Moments.
That's heartfelt.
Yeah, thanks
sure.
for sharing that. Yeah, that was nice.
Yeah.
That is. And it's important to capture those life moments, and appreciate them in the moment. We've all become very conditioned to live behind our cell phones and taking video of everything and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And I have a tattoo on my arm, which I've shown many times on this program. It says Beyond Blood, which basically just reiterates the fact that family and friends make you the richest man.
Yeah.
Or woman or whatever. Family, without family, what do you really have? The people that you spend your time with, that you can share things with, experience things with, that are there for you, support you, especially, mom and dad. It's just incredible, to cherish those moments, and it's good to document them too, because it is. I mean, it's a busy world. We got a lot going on.
A lot going on, and I feel like with phones too, it's very easy to forget and to let a moment pass by. And if you really think about it, you think, hey, that was a really nice moment that I would like to remember. But I think with phones, it's very easy to just kind of have moments blur into each other or miss something. So yeah, for the viewers and the listeners, I would recommend just get a little book, and just if something cool happens and you want to remember it, date, who you were with, and what happened. And I guarantee you, when you go back and you look, you're like, yeah, that was a really cool moment, and you'll remember it. So
I like that.
Yeah.
We normally ask people, like, if you had one piece of advice to give humanity. Like, so I feel like that could fit into there.
That answered it.
Yeah, I feel like, capturing and appreciating, like, let's acknowledge and actually be aware of the little moments that mean a lot. That could be a whole segment. little moments that mean a lot.
Little moments mean a lot. Yeah, that is what life is. I mean, as you said, it's those little moments. Yeah, you can think about all the bad. It's so easy to think about the bad, isn't it?
Well, the brain is almost predispositioned to focus on things in that nature, and they call it like a whirlpool where like it's the negative thought process. Like it's so easy to be on the cusp of that whirlpool, and then somebody says something negative and you get sucked in and you're in the vortex.
Yeah.
And it's easy to lose the mind to that. I'm guilty of it all the time, and I'm constantly trying to be vigilant and conscious of how I think, and I'm constantly slipping all the time. And so I'm aware of that, but it's that awareness and constantly trying to be humble and telling myself like, hey, I could have definitely done that better. I reacted too harshly to that scenario, and trying to look at yourself with a critical eye to grow yourself. And that's also part of looking at the little moments that are important, because when you're doing that, you're feeding your brain. Like it's important the seeds that we plant in the subconscious. If you're looking at social media 8 hours a day, which a lot of us do that, you're feeding your brain all this random stuff that is never gonna germinate and grow like a well-watered seed should. It's just random bibble babble that you're running away from boredom to check out. So I've been doing that the last couple weeks. I've been really working hard on, when I feel bored. I feel bored. Like I'm working and I've handled some business and I have a lull. Like what do most people do? They go to their phones.
It's a go-to.
Exactly. So
Endless scroll.
So I'm trying to really like think about that and be conscious of that. If I'm bored, like what am I going to do? Like what would actually benefit me
In this moment, right now, other than looking at my phone.
Exactly. Like maybe I could start a load of laundry because I work from home, or maybe I could do, a set of 20 push-ups, or maybe I could stretch for a second, or meditate, or
breathe,
something other than just filling the boredom with the screen. And so I kind of challenge people to do that. I challenge people to look at your little moments and try to magnify those a little bit. I think that's awesome that you write that stuff down. How big is this book? I'd like to visualize.
Yeah, about that.
Okay.
About that size.
Nice.
Yeah. Something I can easily keep in a purse when I'm on like vacation or just kind of walking around, and it has a closed like lip on it too, so the pages don't get ruined. I also write down what I do every single day. I have another notebook for that.
It's a good habit to get into.
Every single day. It's fun. I can tell you exactly what I was doing 1 year ago. Exactly. Who I was with and what I was seeing.
You have documentation of it. And you probably remember it better that way than taking a picture of it and putting on IG with like a hashtag this or that. I feel like.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yep. I do the story I did. And even if I don't do anything that day, today I was hungover and I sat on my couch, something like that. But it's fun. I started it when I was studying abroad, and I wanted to remember my trips. And then I got back and I just kept doing it. And I have 3 journals now packed full of just 3 bullet points of what I did. And I think it makes me live in the moment a little bit more and just kind of appreciate, because every day time goes so fast. And you were saying earlier, if there's one thing you want to say to humanity, I think for me, I want to say it's a quote, a Buddha quote.
Oh no, please, yes.
It's the trouble is we think we have time, and that really resonates with me because time goes by just so fast. And do what you want to do, and don't wait. Just do it now. If it feels like something you want to do. And moving to Denver was a big thing for me that I knew I wanted to do in my 20s, and so I got myself here while I was capable and single and able to move and started a good life for myself. So I just think time is very precious.
It is. Absolutely it is. A guy I listen to on a weekly basis, Jocko Willink. I don't know if you're familiar with him. He's a motivational speaker. And he touches on that exact same point that you just mentioned, that time is of the essence.
Yeah.
If you wanted to do that now, do it yesterday kind of thing. Get on it now because you just don't know.
You just don't know.
Don't get complacent. Stay proactive. Get out there. Live life.
Yeah.
It's been difficult, obviously, with the pandemic, and there's been some restrictions.
Sure.
But now, let's go. Now more than ever.
Right.
Get out there, enjoy
Yep.
life, go see some things.
Oh, yeah. I do a lot of things alone because if people don't want to do things with me, I say,
I'm the same way.
just do it alone,
Yeah, I prefer doing it alone, to be honest with you.
too. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I've traveled to so many NASCAR races by myself. I'll fly to whatever city and go watch a race. I enjoy that more than going with a buddy
Yeah.
or my girlfriend or whoever. I like to do my own thing. I'm my own boss.
Yeah.
I'm the boss.
It's invigorating doing things alone, too. You don't have to, well, what do you want to, when do you want to get ready and what do you want to eat for here?
Right.
Just go. And you know what? You'll meet people along the way.
Freedom.
Yeah. You
That's so true.
meet people, talk to people, you make friends, you make memories. That's how you do it.
Great experiences.
Yeah. Great experiences doing stuff alone. I just booked a trip for Hawaii for a week by myself. I'm just going to Hawaii because I always wanted to go to Hawaii.
That's going to be
So,
awesome.
yeah.
When is
Yeah.
that coming up?
It's the second weekend in July. Yeah.
Awesome. Oh, so that's really soon.
Very soon. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
That'd be a good getaway.
I'm staying in a hostel for 2 days, then a bed and breakfast the other 2, and I'm hoping to just kind of meet some people my age and go scuba diving.
Have
and
fun, yeah.
Just have fun.
That's life.
Yeah, why not? I want to do a summer vacation, and so I'm going to go to Hawaii by myself.
Good for you. Good for you. That's
Yeah,
gonna be
I
good.
mean, that takes a bit of courage. If like you're really trying to do something, you have to break your comfort zone. Like if you're complacent with your lifestyle, then your life is never going to change. Like if you don't make yourself feel uncomfortable, then you're never going to see progress. So I'm all about that. Let's take a leap. Let's see how far I could jump. Maybe I'll twist my ankle really bad. Maybe I'll land it perfectly. But that's the thing. Until you try it, until you actually go out there and try to be something different than what you've been doing, then you're never going to see any change.
Yeah.
That's it. You got to take a jump. I was listening to a Steve Harvey video earlier this week. You got to jump. And sometimes it might not be so pretty. You might scrape some rocks along the way, but you took that leap. You left the position you were in to try to better your position you're in now. And that's what it takes sometimes. We're very complacent.
Yeah.
It's easy to get complacent. We're all guilty of it.
Stay in your little comfort bubble. But you know how good it feels when you do take that leap and you land it?
It's amazing.
It's amazing.
Yeah. It's a dopamine release that can't be compared to anything else, I don't think.
Yeah. Makes you want to keep doing it more.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
once you start,
let's
then
roll the
you're-
dice. Let's risk it. Let's do something different that's going to be powerful. And that's kind of what it's all about. I mean, we're talking about life. We're talking about the little moments, how much importance those have, and acknowledging those, and also it's just, I personally have grown a lot since 2020. Like I've completely changed my habits, what my mind is focused on. Like I struggled with addiction for like 5 years. And I finally came out of it in early 2021. And it's interesting for me, my own personal perspective, because like I'm coming out of this forest, right, of being focused on in the woods. And like I'm finally hitting the field for the first time. And when you change your life, you have to expect to feel a bit of discomfort. Like just to explain the mentality, like there's a huge void left in my mentality. What am I going to fill my time with now that I've overcome these ailments and these addictions? And filling the void with the right things has become a huge personal mission statement of my own. Like how am I going to be the best me, now that I'm like new eyes looking at the world and trying to do it right, do it better, then do it my way too. Because if you're not doing it your way, if you're always trying to meet other people's expectations, then you're never going to be happy. You have to do it your own way. And like what you said, like it's just, going and doing it. It doesn't matter if anyone's going with me. Like I'll meet people along the way, and they're more than likely going to be the people that you were meant to meet, because when you put yourself out there, and you got to just trust the unknown a little bit.
My favorite Jim Croce song is called I Got a Name. And there's a line in it that says, if you're going my way, I'll go with you. And I think that's just so true. If you want to go my way, we're going to be friends, and we're going to make it together, and we're going to do what we, get what we want out of life. So, yeah, Jim Croce.
Good
He's
stuff.
my man. He's my man.
Croce's the one. He's writing them real lyrics.
And that's it. That speaks volume, and that's good stuff.
Yep.
It's a good way to live life.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
I love that. What do you got?
We got a word of the week.
Yeah, let's do the word of the week.
We got a word of the week. We have a submission from Providence, Rhode Island.
Oh, Providence.
Yeah, the old stomping. Well, I mean, kind of my stomping grounds. I was from New Hampshire, but this comes from an individual by the name of Sierra.
Thank you, Sierra.
Out of Providence, Rhode Island, thanks for your submission. Word of the week, guys. You already know. Get involved. Send us your words. This is a fun word, I think. Okay. And the word of the week is boondoggle.
Boondoggle.
Boondoggle. This is a noun.
Okay.
We can use it in a sentence. We can
Please.
Yes.
Because you're going to be the first to guess on this. What does
Okay.
boondoggle mean? Kevin's going to give us some.
It's a noun?
It is.
Boondoggle. Is
Yep.
it a dog toy?
That was kind of one of my first thoughts on it. You know, the word of the week is always. I don't think I've ever known one of them.
Use it in
Or
a
a boating
sentence.
thing. Maybe a boating
Could be.
thing.
It
Is
could
it like
be.
a boating thing?
Okay, I can see that. It does kind of sound nautical, doesn't it?
All right, so let's
that's
use
not
it in a
nautical.
sentence, and let's see what this
Okay.
does. Writing off cold fusion phenomenon as a boondoggle, best buried in the literature.
Writing off cold fusion.
Way over my head.
Yep. So writing off the cold fusion phenomenon as a boondoggle, best buried in literature.
Okay, I think I have an idea, but
Okay.
do you want to go?
No, it's all you.
Okay, I'll do this. So I feel like writing off the cold fusion boondoggle, right?
Yep.
So
Yep.
what it is it's a significant discovery that is not put on the proper platform to be heard. So it's like something new that's relevant. No, it's a new thing, but it's not given. It's put in the shed.
I think that's a pretty good stab at it, Art. I think, again, I would not have a clue what this word is, Amy. I'll tell you right now.
No, that's like something that deserves to get more credit for what it is, and
Oh,
then
yeah. I think you guys are onto something here.
Okay.
yeah,
Because I'm reading the definition, and you're hitting it. You're
we're
sniffing
dancing
around
it?
the right
Okay.
tree here. I smell what you're stepping in.
Yeah, a concept that isn't fully grasped to its highest potential. Boom.
Oh yes, that was
we
the
go.
verbiage that
That's
we
pretty
needed.
damn good, I think.
Okay.
So let's go ahead and give the actual definition, and you'll see just how close you guys were. So it's a work or activity that is wasteful or pointless, but gives the appearance that it has value.
Okay. So, kind of the opposite of where we were going at.
Yeah, we were
We
around
were
the right
in the
tree, but-
ballpark, but
yeah.
we
We
were
were
just
on
on the wrong side of the
Yeah.
ballpark.
That's okay though. And that's a fun word. I've never heard this word before.
I thought I was in the hamburger line, but it turns out I'm eating a hot dog.
Boondoggle.
Boondoggle. I like it. Can you spell it? Can you
Yeah,
spell
it's
boondoggle?
BOONDOGGLE.
Okay, that's how I imagine.
Boondoggle.
So
And that comes from Sierra from Providence, Rhode Island.
Thank you,
I
Sarah.
would never want to do this, but I'm gonna totally boondoggle my performance at work tomorrow. No, I'm joking, team. I'm joking. I got to show up and crush.
Hey, that's life, man. We all got to get out there and get after it. Boondoggling. It's a fun word, I think.
That is a fun word.
Every week, I feel like I learned something.
Maybe I'll try to use that in a news report someday.
I might,
Yeah.
it might just come up.
That's a challenge.
You know,
Slip boondoggle in
when a
there.
delinquent messes something up, that's when you use it. Today we had a boondoggle that performed blah blah.
Yeah.
People be like, what did she just say on
Yeah.
TV? Okay.
Well, she gonna learn me something.
We have a situation
learn.
developer right now. There's a little bit of a situation. We had a boondoggle over here. But let me tell you guys something. I don't know.
I like that. Just to see if they're listening. Yeah.
Yeah.
You
Keep
know.
them honest. Keep them
Keep 'em honest. Yeah.
That's what's fun. I mean, at least you have the ability to create a little bit, which is cool with what you do.
yeah.
It's not
Yeah.
like you have to do this, that, and the other. You have the ability to be Aimee Lewis.
I can.
Which is cool.
Yeah.
You're great at what you do.
Still forming her, TV personality, and really happy I got the opportunity to talk kind of off air for a moment here and introduce myself to the people of Denver. So this was great. Thank you so
Absolutely.
much. Yeah.
I mean, what a pleasure. I mean, we've met a lot of great people. We feel like you fit in perfectly with the type of energy that is shown on the show and giving us a little insight on what your day's like, because everyone watches the news, but not
Yeah.
everybody knows what happens behind the scenes.
Happy to answer questions. Yeah, if you want to reach out to me on Instagram, I'll talk about local news.
What are all the handles?
Where can people find you?
I am Aimee Lewis TV, and my name is spelled a little different. It's AIMEE_Lewis TV. So that's a handle for pretty much everything. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook.
Awesome.
Yeah.
good stuff. We'll include that in the show notes down below as always. Just scroll down and we'll make those links pretty easy. Aimee, you're doing some cool stuff, reporting the news around our city, out there in the trenches taking grenades, as I like to say, just out there. You don't know what's going to happen.
No. And give me your story ideas. I would love to cover, there's a lot of stuff that I don't get to know, and it's just word of mouth. And, tell me what's going on in the communities. Tell me what wants to be covered. And it's not all bad news. I do happy stories, too. So,
that's it.
Yeah.
The good and the bad, the good, the bad, the ugly,
all of it. All of it. That's me, Aimee Lewis.
Keep it real.
Over and out.
Absolute pleasure. We're gonna keep these. We're gonna keep checking that CQC box on the weekly here at DCPC. It was a pleasure talking with Aimee from Fox News. As always, my man Kevin next to me over here. I feel like I just finished up a news story. Like this was a great episode, a great time. Believe and achieve your goals, people. Believe in the fact that it's going to be difficult. Let's do that out the gate. If you really want to do something, expect it to be hard. So believe in the struggle. Believe in the trials and tribulations you're going to have to go through to accomplish this and achieve overcoming those struggles. Because if we're not willing to look at it with open eyes, honest eyes, and actually face it with, the skin on our teeth, and like it's the last minute, like we're raiding the island. They took the Navy ships, the boats away. We got to take this island. Like, it's going to be difficult, but it's there. Achieve it. Believe and achieve your goals. This week is what we want to make it. This is a beautiful life if you want to see it that way. There's always good and bad, and we have a choice on what we want to focus on. I always like to wrap it up with a little bit of, rhetoric.
You do, man. You're always closing out powerful. And I always come in with just social media plugs and all that stuff. But to echo off that, I feel that energy, Let's get after it, Tomorrow's a new day. There's great people around. Let's appreciate it, Enjoy that neighbor, be there for each other, and just enjoy life, man, Y'all be good to yourselves.
You deserve it.
Aimee, thanks again for being here.
Thank you.
Back to you.